Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to our supplemental video. So this time we are now in the week 5 of your subject, which is System Management and Administration. And today's topic we will be discussing about the software, systems and application software. So at the end of the lesson, you will be able to define what is system and application software, identify and describe the functions of two basic kinds of software, and discuss several key software issues and trends that have an impact on organizations and individual. But before I proceed to my formal discussion, I would like again to remind for those students who are not yet submitted the requirements from the previous week, or sa lahat ng mga requirements ninyo na hindi nyo pa na-submit, please do submit your requirements, okay? So, I'll be expecting you to submit your requirements anytime this week. So, iwasan natin yung natatambakan tayo ng requirements para sa ganun ay hindi tayo mahirapan na maghabol. Lalo pat na sa week 5 na tayo and this is the last week of your prelim. So, next na dito would be your examination. And I would like also to remind that your examination will be on September 20 to 24. Okay, so yan. So, for those students who are not yet completed the requirements, they are not allowed to take the prelim examination. So, if possible, ihabol natin, tapusin natin yung lahat ng mga requirements niyo para sa ganun ay makapag-take kayo ng prelim examination. So, that is the rules. Okay? So, yan. So, kailangan tapusin nyo muna yung lahat ng mga requirements nyo for prelim before I will allow you to take your examinations. Hindi lang naman sa akin. So, pati sa mga ibang teacher ninyo or subject ninyo. Okay? So, yan. And also, if you will going to watch or listen to this supplemental video, please always have with you your printed module. Okay, para sa ganun is mas mabilis nyo maintindihan, or the printed module that you have that would serve as your guide during dito sa my supplemental video, or while you are listening or watching this supplemental video. So yan. Kaya pakiusap ko, if you have time, pag may mga free time kayo, please do watch our supplemental video, or pakinggan ninyo yung mga supplemental video kasi this will help you a lot, guys, to understand better the module or the topic or the lesson that we are discussing, or na meron dyan sa may mga module ninyo. Okay? So yan. So may mga student pa rin ata na hindi pa na-add sa group chat natin or sa GC natin. Please do PM me or chat me pag hindi pa kayo member sa mga GC natin, so that ma-add ko kayo dun sa GC natin. Okay, kasi dun sa GC natin is importante na member kayo doon kasi dun ko sinesend yung mga link ng mga supplemental video. And also I also already posted the code or the link of our Google Classroom for those student na gustong mag-pass ng mga requirements nila or kumuha ng soft copy. Meron tayong Google Classroom. So I created Google Classroom and I already send or upload the class code of the Google Classroom and the link also for the system management and administration. So uploaded na po lahat yung mga materials doon. At the same time is your requirement, all the requirements for prelim. Yan. So please always read the instruction there kasi may mga student na since nasa lockdown tayo at may mga student na hindi pa makapunta dito sa city, the soft copy of the module is also available in the Google Classroom. So you can send your requirements there or your activity. So make sure lang na clear yung pag-picture nyo or pag-take nyo ng photo dun sa requirements ninyo. And huwag nyong itatapon yung mga printed or hard copy of your requirements kasi I'll be collecting that one pag once na nag-take na kayo ng examination ninyo or prelim exams nyo. Okay? So, yan. So, sabi ko nga, gaya ng sinabi ko, may mga link akong sinend dyan sa GC natin, and those link is your access dun sa YouTube channel namin, wherein andun na lahat, uploaded na lahat yung mga link ng mga supplemental video na namin doon sa group chat. Okay? So, panoorin nyo sana pag may time kayo. So, yan. So, again, we are now in the last week of, or last lesson of our prelim. So, again, remind ko lang na September 20 to 24, that would be your prelim examination. So, kailangan matapos lahat ng mga requirements. Okay, so, again, today's topic, we will be discussing about the software, systems, and application software. So, hindi naman na siguro kayo bago sa kung ano ang software or ano ang application softwares. Kasi nga, dun sa introduction to computer pa lang or dun sa fundamental of computers ninyo noon nung first year kayo is feeling ko naman na-explain na sa inyo or na-define na sa inyo kung ano ang difference or ano ang software tsaka hardware and even application software. Okay, so yan. So, again, welcome to our supplemental video. So, let's start our discussion. So, we have here the system software. So, but before that one, yung software is consists of computer programs that could control working of computer hardware. So, hindi naman mag-work yung may mga, kunwari, hindi mag-work yung software kung wala namang hardware. Okay, so yung mga computer programs are a sequence of instruction para dun sa computer. So yung documentation dinidescribe niya yung program functions para matulungan yung mga user na i-operate yung computer system. So the program displays some documentation doon sa may screens. So while other forms appears in external resources such as yung mga printer manuals natin. Yan. So people using commercially available for software are usually asked to read yung mga agree to end user license agreement. Kung mapapansin niyo yung mga yon, pag may nag-install kayo ng mga software ninyo or nag-install kayo ng mga software applications, is 'di ba may mga agreement doon na chine-check mo, 'di ba? So yun. So after na ma-read nyo yung ang tawag kasi natin doon is you have EULA. EULA. So ibig sabihin kasi noon is End User License Agreement. So after reading yung EULA is yun normally have to click yung I agree button, 'di ba? So yun, so napapansin nyo. So before you can use the software, okay? So which can be one of the two basic types, system software and yung application software natin. So yan, so feeling ko naman encounter nyo na yun pag nag-install kayo ng mga application software and even software sa mga computer niyo or personal computers ninyo. Okay, so we have here the system software. So when we say system software, isa siyang set ng programs that coordinates dun sa activities na nangyayari within the computers. Okay, so it consists also of computer programs that control the workings of computer hardware. So yan. So lahat ng type ng system software is na-design siya for a specific CPU and yung class of hardware natin. So yung combination ng hardware configuration and then yung system software is ang tawag siya sa kanya or also known as a computer system platform. So yun yung tinatawag nilang computer system platform. Yung combination ng hardware configuration and then yung system software. Okay, so that is for the system software. So we have also here the application software. So when we say application software, it consists of programs na tinutulungan din yung mga users para ma-solve yung particular computing problems. Yan, so combination of hardware configuration and yung system hardware. So yan. So ito, most cases, application software resides doon sa my computer hard disk before it brought doon sa my computer's memory and mag-run siya. So, yung application software can also be stored pwede sa mga CDs, mga DVIDs, mga DVDs, and even sa mga flash drive na ginagamit natin, basta or yung mga keychain storage devices natin that plug doon sa may USB port natin. So, those, pwede yun yung application software can also be stored doon. Okay, so kung mga hard drive, hard drive, flash drive, may mga external drive, so yun. Okay, so before a person or yung group or enterprise decides on the best approach for acquiring application software, so they should analyze, di ba, their goals and kung ano yung mga kailangan nila carefully. Okay, so yan. So next is we have also supporting individual, group, and organization goals. So every organizations nakarelies doon sa contribution of people or even sa groups and yung entire enterprise para ma-achieve its business objectives. So conversely, yung organization also support people, pwedeng sa groups and the enterprise with application software and dun sa IS natin or dun sa may information system natin. So sa lahat ng mga sa organizations, even sa group of people, is very important yung information system. So yan, so kung na-discuss ninyo dun sa MIS ninyo, is it's very important itong information system, especially sa isang business or establishment or organization yan. So one useful way of clarifying yung the many potential uses of information system is to identify yung scope of the problems, 'di ba? So dapat alam mo or ma-identify mo kung ano yung scope ng problem na yun. 'Di ba meron din sa thesis ninyo, scope and limitation, tama ba? Yun. So which is nagaling dun sa may problem mo yun, statement of the problem mo. Okay? So yan. And of course, yung mga opportunities that an organization addresses. So itong scope na ito is ang tawag dito is sphere of influence. So for most companies, yung sphere of influence are personal or pwedeng work group and enterprise. So as you can see dito sa my figure natin dito. So yan. So itong figure na to is pinapakita niya kung paano yung software sinusuportahan niya itong mga three spheres na ito. So yan. So you have yung three spheres na tinatawag niya dyan is you have the personal, you have the work group, and yung enterprise natin. So yung system software, so sa personal, pwedeng personal computer and workstation operating systems. So yan kaya personal. So personal computer. Dito naman sa work group, ang tawag na dito is yung network operating system or yung networking. 'Di ba? So yan. And then, alam niyo naman siguro pag networking, di ba, yung connected, yung computer is connected each other. So, that is for networking. And for the enterprise, so mid-range computer and mainframe operating system or OS. So, that is for the enterprise in system software. So, you have also here the application software. So, word processing. So, yan, yung mga sa mga personal, is you have yung word processing or yung MS Word natin. So, pwede rin yung mga spreadsheet, mga database or mga databases natin kung saan tayo nag-i-store ng mga information or data. And then, you have also the graphics. So, for example, ng graphics, if you have the AutoCAD, yan, yung ginagamit nila to design sana na, and then yung Photoshop, yan. So, in work group naman, you have the electronic mail or yung email, ba? So, yun. Group scheduling and shared work. So when we say shared work is shared network. So you can share your work, your files to others. So bibigyan mo sila ng access. So parang yung ginagawa namin sa inyo na we do upload your materials or your module, soft copy of your module dun sa my Google Classroom or Google Drive. Then we'll send you a code or a link for you to access the module or mga soft copy na na-upload namin doon. So, di ba yon yung kung ginagawa namin na we create a Google Classroom and then ibibigay namin sa inyo yung code, yan, or yung link para sa ganun ay magkaroon kayo ng access doon sa mga ina-upload namin doon na mga module or software of a soft copy of your module. So, yun. So yan, so pwede yan sa sharing of information ang tawag. So sa mga companies, importante 'yon na harikaldatuan na magkaroon ng sharing of information or sharing of data, especially sa mga big companies. Okay, so enterprises. So enterprise, if you have general ledger, then order entry, yun yung payroll, yan, yung payroll, and then yung HR or yung human resources. Okay, so those are the, those, that is how a software support these three spheres, which is the personal, work, group, and enterprise. So malaking tulong din naman kasi yung system software and even the application software, hindi lang sa isang tao, kagaya nga ng sinabi niya dito, pwedeng pwede sa group and even sa mga organizations or sa mga businesses, di ba? So yan. Okay, so sana naiintindihan ninyo, no? Yan. Next slide is you have the system software. So, yan. So, but before that one pala guys is yung information system that operates within the personal sphere of influence serves the needs of individual user. So, itong information system na ito is tinutulungan niya yung mga users para ma-improve their personal effectiveness. So, increasing the amount and quality of work they can do. So, such yung software is minsan yung tawag sa kanya is yung personal productivity software. So, when two or more people sana work together para ma-achieve yung common goal, they form a work group. Okay? So, yung work group, pwedeng large siya, pwedeng formal, or pwedeng permanent organizational entity, so such as yung mga section or yung mga department. Or pwede rin yung temporary group na which is nagpo-form sila to group form to complete yung specific na project. So yun, so 'di ba sa mga kunwari sa mga group thesis ninyo, yan mga yan, 'di ba? So you work as a group or work group. So pwedeng big group or pwede yung madami kayo para sa ganun ay ma-achieve ninyo yung specific na goal ninyo or para ma-achieve nyo yung specific project. So yung information system, ito yung dito sa may information work group sphere of influence is tinutulungan niya yung work group para ma-attain yung common goals. So, yung user of such application must be able to communicate or pwedeng makip-collaborate, yan, makipag-interact to be successful. O para maging successful yung project or yung ginagawa nila na work is kailangan magkaroon ng, how do you call that one, communication or makipag-communicate sila to each other. Dapat how do you call that one, makipag-interact and then collaboration or makipag-collaborate. So, yun yung importante dun sa isang group eh. Ito yung mga importante na maganda yung communication ninyo. Dapat magtulungan kayo, then collaborate. When you say collaborate is, dapat marunong kang how do you call that one? Maging open sa mga idea ng mga grupo mo. Hindi yung ikaw lang lagi yung, idea ko to, ito yung masusunod. So, hindi. So, you work as a group, makipag-collaborate ka para sa ganun ay makamit ninyo or maging successful yung project. Okay? So, yan. So, yung information system is yun, that operates within dun sa enterprise sphere of influence. It also support the firm in its interaction. So, with its environment. So, yung surrounding environments is includes yung mga customers, mga suppliers, mga shareholders, yan, mga competitors, yan. And then, special interest groups, and then pwede rin yung financial community and yung mga government agencies. So, ibig sabihin, yung enterprises is peers of influence business partners such as yung mga suppliers which nagpo-provide sila ng mga raw materials, yan, mga retail companies that store and sell yung mga companies product, pwede yung mga shipping companies like mga Shopee, yan, that's transport raw materials to plant and finished goods to retail outlets. Okay? Ayan. Okay, so next is you have the system software. So let me check. Okay, so we have your the retail system software. So when we say system software is one of the most critical functions of system software. So include operating system, utility programs, and you have the middleware. Yan. So wait lang. Okay, yan. So, yung system software natin is also, sinusuportahan niya din yung application programs, problem solving capabilities. So, we have the types of system software which include yung operating system, utility program, and yung middleware. hardware natin. So, yung OS or yung operating system natin, isa siyang set ng program which is nagko-control dun sa computer hardware and nag-a-act din siya or siya din yung nag-a-act as an interface with application. So, as you can see dyan sa may figure natin, yan. So, yan. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin yan. So, yung operating system natin is pwede niyang mag-control ng one or more computers or they can allow multiple users to interact with one computer. So, yung mga various combinations of the operating systems, operating system computers and users include yung mga ito. You have the single computer with a single user. Pwede rin yung single computers with a single user. And you have multiple computers. Yung number 2 pala is single computer with multiple users. Tapos, for the number 3 is multiple computers and special purpose computers natin. Okay? So, yan. So, yung single computers with a single users, yan, isa siyang, yung system na yan is commonly na ginagamit siya dun sa mga personal computer or yung mga laptop na ginagamit ninyo or nag-handheld siya ng computer which is allow one user at a time. So, yan. So, pwedeng one user at a time or ina-allow niya na how do you call that one? Gumamit, yung ginagamit niyo na personal computer or yung mga laptop. So, yun yung example niya ng itong single computer with a single user. So, ibig sabihin is hindi pwedeng 3, 5 yung gagamit dun sa isang laptop. So, ibig sabihin, single user, isa lang yung gagamit doon sa isang computer. Okay? Or doon sa single computer. Hindi naman porket yung laptop mo, di ba? Pwede yung gamitin na, manood as a group na manood, pero hindi nyo hindi nyo pwedeng gamitin na sabay, di ba? Na mag-encode kayo dalawa or 3 kayo mag-encode na sa isang laptop. So, hindi. Okay? So, next is we have the single computer with a multiple user. So, ito naman is, itong system na to is typical of larger or mainframe computer that can accommodate hundreds of or thousands of people all using the computer at the same time. So, yan. So, yung isang computer is pwedeng gamitin ng madaming tao or madaming user. Kaya nga siya tinawag na single user, isang computer with multiple users. Okay? So, yan. Next is you have the multiple computers. So, itong system na to is a very typical siya or a network of computers. So, such as yung mga home network with several computers attached or large computer network with hundreds of computers which attached around the world. So, multiple computers. Yan. So, you have also here the special purpose computers. So, itong system na to is typical of a number of computers with specialized functions such as those control sophisticated military aircraft yan, mga space shuttle and some of the home appliances. Yan. So itong OS na to is which plays a central role doon sa may in the functioning of the complete computer system. So it is usually stored on the disk. So after you start or boot up, so yung computer system, portions of the OS is magta-transfer dun sa memory as they are needed or kailangan. So you can also boot a computer from pwede yung sa mga CD, mga DVDs or even sa mga thumb drive plug into a USB port. So, pag nagbo-boot kayo, pwede yung gamitin yung CD, mga DVD, yan. So yung storage devices that contain some of all the OS, or all of the OS is often, ang tawag sa kanila is rescue disk. Kasi nga, you can use it to start the computer if you have problems with the primary hard disk. So, yan. So, meron tayong mga operating systems for handheld computers and notebook that is use solid state hard drives, have an instant on features that significantly reduces the time needed to boot a computer. So, yung set ng programs that make up the operating system performs a variety of activities. So, pwede, ito yung mga yon. So, first is you have performing common computer's hardware functions. So, yan. So, perform common computer hardware function. And next is you have providing a user interface and input-output management, providing a degree of hardware independence. So, interface, yan, kung yung interface niya, yung features niyan, yan. Then, managing system memory, yan, pero yan, yung sa partition, yan. Managing process tasks and providing networking capability. Pwede rin yung controlling access to system resources, yan. And managing files, so yan. So, you can manage the files there, yan. Next is you have here the common hardware. Tama ba ako? So, let me check. So, yan. So, yan yung common hardware functions. So, lahat ng mga applications must perform certain hardware-related tasks. So, such as the following. So, get input from the keyboard or another input device. So, yan. So, how will you going to get an hardware? Kunwari, paano kami makakapag-produce ng module or printed module ninyo or hard copy or ng module ninyo kung hindi kami mag-input dun sa computer, di ba? So, yan. So, retrieve data from this. So, you can retrieve data from this, di ba? So, when you say retrieve, is retrieval of data. Yan. Then, you store data on this. So, you can store data on this. So, hindi lang sa disk, guys, ha. Pwede kayong mag-store ng mga data sa mga storage devices natin or mga storage hardware natin like mga flash drive or ano pa yung mga ginagamit nating mga storage devices. Pwede sa disk, mga floppy disk, doon at floppy disk, yan. So, yan, floppy disk, ano pa ba? External hard drive, yan. Okay, yan. So, display information on a monitor or printer. Each of these tasks requires a detailed set of instruction. So, yung OS natin, converts a basic request doon into the instruction that the hardware requires. Yan. So, in effect, the operating system acts as an intermediary between the application and the hardware. So, yung typical operating system is nagpa-perform siya ng hundreds of such tasks. So, translating each task into one or more instruction for the hardware. So, yung yung operating system natin kailangan should notify the user if input or output devices need attention. So, if an error has occurred and nothing abnormal happens dun sa may system. Okay? Yan. So, that is the common hardware function. Next is you have the user interface. So, you have the user interface and input-output management. So, itong user interface and input-output management natin, ito yung pinaka-most important functions ng operating system in providing a user interface. So, it requires you to give text commands to the computer to perform yung pinaka-basic activities. Okay? So, yan. Okay, so that is the user interface. And then next is you have the hardware independence. So, ano nga ba itong hardware independence na to? So, ito para to run yung applications, request services from the operating system through a defined application program interface or yung tinatawag natin APD as shown dito sa figure natin. So, mga programmers can use APIs to create application software without having to understand the inner working of the operating system. So, you have here. So, as you can see dito sa may figure natin, so you have there the application program interface, then application, doon sa pinakataas, that is application software, and you have operating system, and then you have the computer system hardware. So, okay, so we have also here the memory management. Yan. So, when we say memory management, is yan, access and minimizes available memory and storage. So, allows the computer to execute programming instruction effectively. So, yan. So, yung operating system natin also, kinokontrol niya din kung paano yung memory is access and ma-maximize yung available memory and storage. So, yung mga bagong operating system, typically, manage yung memory is better than dun sa mga old na or mga luma na operating system. So, ngayon, meron na tayong mga lumalabas na mga bagong operating system like the iCore 3, iCore 5, yan. Ewan ko kung may iCore 7 na, yan. So, yung mga dating old na operating system is mabagal na, yan, di ba? Mabagal na yung response niya, yan. So, mababa kasi yung memory niya. So, pag mataas yung operating system OS ng laptop or memory is mas mabilis or mas maganda gamitin. Okay, so yan. So, yung memory management natin is, many OS allows the computer to execute program instruction effectively and to speed processing. So, one way to increase yung performance ng old computer natin is kailangan i-upgrade natin siya into bago or dun sa how do you call that one? Yung bagong operating system or yung bagong labas ngayon like Windows 10, Windows 8, then case para ma-increase din yung amount ng memory niya. So, karamihan sa mga operating system support yung virtual memory, so which is allocates space on the hard disk to supplement the immediate unconditional memory capacity of the random access memory natin. So, yung virtual memory is works by swapping programs or parts of programs between yung memory and one or more disk devices. So, a concept called paging. So, this reduces yung CPU idle time and increases yung number of jobs that can run in a given time span. Okay, so yan. So, that is for the memory management. So, malaking tulong din na marunong kang mag-handle or mag-manage ng memory sa laptop mo kasi the more kasi na madaming memory na nagagamit is the more na bumabagal kasi yung computer. So pag may mga wala nang kwenta na files doon or hindi mo naman na magagamit, you can delete or you can save it in a flash drive or a hard drive. Yan, para sa ganun ay mabawasan yung mga naka-install na data doon, para sa ganun ay maging mas mabilis yung maging mabilis yung response ng laptop mo. Yan. So we have also here the processing task. So manage all processing activities and allocates computer resources to make the best use of each system's assets. So yan. So itong task management naman na ito is yung software can permit one user para mag-run ng several programs or tasks at the same time, or ito yung tinatawag natin na multitasking. And inaalam niya din yung mga several users to use the same computer at same time, or tawag natin dito is yung time sharing. Okay? So yan, so processing task. Okay, so next is you have the network capability. Yan. So yung network capability is include networking capabilities and allow users to easily set up home or business network for sharing internet connection, printers, storage, and data. So yan. So yung mga kunwari, ito kasing itong network capability na ito yung pinaka-most operating system which is include yung capabilities so that yung computers can join together in a network to send and receive data and of course makapag-share siya ng computing resources. So yung mga PCs running Mac, yung mga Windows natin or yung Linux operating systems natin is allow user to easily set up yung home or business networks for sharing internet connections and pwede rin sa sharing of printers, storage, and data. So yung operating system natin for larger server computers are designed specifically for computer networking environment. Okay? So yan. Next is, I think this is the last one. Yeah. So for the last one is you have the access to system resources and security. So because of computer often handles sensitive data that can be accessed over network, so yung operating systems is kailangan makapag-provide siya ng high level of security against doon sa mga unauthorized access to the or unauthorized access doon sa mga users' data and mga programs. So, yan. So, typically, yung mga operating system natin establishes a login or log-on procedure that requires user to mag-enter siya ng identification code niya. Yung mga login form, yung mga yan, mga kailangan mag-login ka muna. So, yan. So, para maiwasan natin yung mga unauthorized person na mag-access ng mga confidential files or mga data. So, yan. So, such as when we say identification code kasi is yung mga username and yung matching password. So, yan. So, if the identification code is invalid or yung password sana does not match doon sa may identification code, so yung user cannot access yung computer. So, karamihan sa mga operating system is nagre-require sila ng passwords change frequently. So, such as every 22 to 40 days. So, advisable din na kailangan mag-change ka within after 20 days or 40 days. Yan, para or mag-change password frequently. Yan. So, pagka yung user is successfully logs doon sa my system, so yung operating system is restricts access only portion of the system for which the user has been cleared. So, ibig sabihin, pag as a user ka at hindi ka admin, may mga restriction din yan or may mga uh, data lang na pwede mong i-access which is hindi mo siya pwedeng i-access kasi yung admin lang yung authorized person para makapag-access dun sa data. So, hindi ibig sabihin na pag naka-login ka na doon or nakapasok ka na dun sa system is pwede mo nang i-access lahat. So, hindi. So, limited lang yung pwede mong i-access as a user. So, ang pwede lang makapag-access lahat is the admin or administrator. Okay? So, yan. So, I think that is for today and that is for our last topic for the prelim examination, prelim module. And again, if you have any questions or point of clarification, please do not hesitate to ask me through our group chat or through a personal messenger. So, yan. So, if mga questions kayo, huwag kayong mahiya magtanong. So, thank you for listening and for your last activity or week 5 activity for prelim. So, you have 3 activities. Tama. Okay, so yan. So, for your activity number 1 is you will going to answer the following questions into 5 to 10 sentences. Number 1 is how can application software improve the effectiveness of a large enterprise? And for number 2 is compare and contrast the 3 popular OS operating system personal computers. So you will going to present that one through a tabular form. Yan. So then number 3, you are going to buy a personal computer. So what operating system features are most important to you? What operating system would you select? Okay? So explain mo yan. Then if you were an IT manager for a large manufacturing company here in Kalinga, what issues might you have with the use of open source or yung free software natin? So what advantages might there be for use of such software? And for activity number 2, so what personal computer operating system would help you the most in the field in the first job you would like to have after you graduate? Why? So what features are the most important to you? And for number 3, so dito sa number 3, additional activity lang to ha. So pag sasagutan nyo, okay lang, pero pag hindi, okay lang din naman. Okay, so yan. So web exercise ito. So you will going to search on the web application software that is used in an industry and is of interest to you. So write a brief report describing how the application software can be used to increase profits or reduce yung cost. Okay? So that is your last activity for this prelim. So I hope naintindihan niyo yung topic natin ngayon. Gaya nga ng sinabi ko, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me through the messenger or through our personal, through our GC. Okay, so thank you guys for listening and I hope hindi kayo magsawa na makinig sa mga supplemental videos natin kasi para din naman sa inyo ito. Okay, so I'll be expecting you to submit your requirements anytime this week. So mag-iingat tayo palagi, always wear your face mask every time you go out. Keep your immune system strong. Maghugas kayo ng kamay, mag-sanitize kayo, maintain social distancing, especially sa mga crowded place. Yan. So, thank you so much and God bless us all.